Welcome to Common Man Cocktails. I'm your host, Derrick Schommer. I've got with me Ian, and I've got with me
Archie.
Archie from Black Cow Vodka. So what we wanted to do is kind of do a taste test of Black Cow Vodka. And I think you've got cheese here too.
Got some cheese here as well.
Sweet. And then basically, I'd like to learn what your product is. I'm really curious on the direction you take with vodka, because I know, at least here in the US, vodka is like everything, right? It's trendy. Kind of understand your backstory a little bit.
Yeah.
I guess we can start with that. So, what got you into building spirits and such?
Well, like a lot of good things, it came out of having a drink with a good friend.
That is the biggest story we've been hearing all the time, is how everything starts with a drink.
And it absolutely is right. I mean, down in Dorset where we live, which is in the southwest of England, it's a very rural area. What we're really best at growing is grass, lovely, long, lush grass. And really lovely, long, lush grass makes gorgeous, creamy milk. And I was with my old friend Jason Barber, sitting in his kitchen, and we happen to also make quite a lot of cider locally, because everyone has trees, apples fall on the ground, and you pick them up and we stick them in a barrel. I have a Highland Park barrel that I put mine in once they're mashed up, get the juice, and nature takes over, and this cider comes up. We all make far too much of it. We all think, oh, we'll be drinking cider all year round, but after a few months, there's like a prime point with 3 months where it's fizzy and it's like 3 or 4% alcohol and it's delicious, but then it gets really gnarly and very strong. And so we found out the best thing to do with that is to distill it on a kind of on a much low key level, more for Christmas presents and for fun.
Yeah.
And I was round at Jason's house, and we were in his kitchen trying some homemade eau de vie and talking about farming, which is quite tough in Britain at the moment. And Jason has a guy called Joseph, who's this Polish guy who works as his dairyman, helps milk the cows. And he came into the kitchen and we said, try some of this eau de vie. And he tried it and went, yeah, wrinkling his nose. You know, you can make good drink from milk. And we looked out of the kitchen window and we saw 250 of Jason's dairy herd outside. And there was this visible light bulb went off in his head, just above, just floating around like that. And so we talked about it. He went on, he set about thinking about how he could make vodka from his milk. He'd been a big fan of vodka for many years because he likes a drink, but he also has to get up very early in the morning to milk the cows. And he found that vodka is one thing that he can actually have a drink and get up in the morning, be clear-headed enough to actually get to the cows. So that was the challenge. We started looking into it, and it very rapidly became obvious to us that people for thousands of years have been making drink out of milk, especially in cold, arid climates where you have places like Mongolia, where they make it from cow's milk, Siberia, where they make it from foal's milk, and Tibet, where they make it from yak's milk. Everyone has to have a drink on a Friday night. You've got no veg to grow, get it from your cattle. So we started looking at this, and we went on this journey of discovery. And basically, 2 years on, we had our first pure milk vodka. And by that, I mean that everything in these little bottles here, by the way, do sell it in bigger bottles.
That would be good. This is like the start of a Friday.
Yeah. So everything in this little bottle comes from the milk. There's nothing added. That is the sole ingredient. And so we tried this out with our friends and our family, and we literally had a couple of goes, and we realised we had something on our hands. And we were really excited about this. And of course, when you're excited about something, you want to tell the whole world about it.
Right.
So to do that, we started, and I dropped everything I was doing, and we've really gone into this.
So you had no other back history with spirits or anything? You're just like, I just want to do this?
Well, Jason's a dairy farmer. His family have been farming for 300 years. And they've been cheesemakers. They're one of the most celebrated cheese making families in the country. So he sells this in, well, this is our Black Cow cheese, but we sell this in Fortnum and Mason's, which is the Queen's Grocers in Piccadilly. They make really good cheese. So he's interested in everything dairy, and he has a good scientific knowledge about milk and about what you can do with that. I come from a completely different background. I've been a filmmaker and a commercials director, and I make art. So, but it's all about just making stuff.
Yeah.
Whether you're mending a tractor, making a bit of sculpture, doing a commercial, or building a milking parlour, it's all about people with their hands making it themselves. Yeah, not getting other people to do it for you.
Right.
So we went on this journey of discovery, and once we had a liquid that we thought was great, we thought, well, we need to work out how to get this out to everyone. So we worked up a scalable process system, and with my wife Helen, she applied for the licenses, and also we went about designing a brand, which was another fascinating exercise, really good fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But then you have nothing, and you can see it grow. So you've got nothing to start with.
Yeah.
You get to see the exposure and how the
Yeah.
label and the bottle, the graphics,
Yeah.
and it kind of just grows from there.
Yeah, and it's, it's sort of common sense. There's, we found that well, for us anyway, we've enjoyed doing it ourselves rather than getting a third party to do it, because at the end of the day, often it's just easier to get up and do it yourself rather than try and get someone else to do it. Also, we've done this on a tiny budget. This is a family effort done by two families, and so we've had to cut our cloth, as it were.
Right.
So anyway, we put our brand together, and we looked at a few simple things. I went into a liquor store and I thought, what works with brands? And and so we thought, what are we going to call it? So we thought, well, cow tells us it comes from cow's milk, and black is like a luxury colour. The black edition of this, black edition of that. And also, I went into a thing, I thought, grey goose, red bull, white horse, etc. A colour and an animal, it seems to communicate quite well globally. This isn't rocket science.
Right.
So we thought we'd plump for that. Plus, it's a great Steely Dan song.
Oh, that's true. Yeah.
So anyway, so we thought black cow, and then we looked at various other things. Like on ours, we say the gold top, and the gold top comes from a kind of a heritage thing in England where our best quality milk is served in a glass bottle. The milkman delivers it, and it has a gold foil top, and that's got the highest creamy content, so they call that the gold top. So we thought, as a kind of a homage to our dairy background, and also it's very nostalgic for people, we'd say the gold top. But in Hong Kong, gold top, #1. They're nice.
It ties in very much to their culture. Very lucky #1.
Exactly, and they're superlatives that work well. So anyway, so we've got to we've got to this. We've got the vodka, and we've got the cheese. Shall I try and explain the process?
Yeah, absolutely. I would love to understand the process, because when I see milk, it's white.